that deeper relationship where they had to come to you for advice.
Yeah,
And that's the
that's the
biggest
point.
that's the biggest leverage that you can have with your kids.
I want you to share any advice that you want to give, any motivation or any recommendation to any person who's watching the podcast.
Yes, I do have advice. What I'm about to tell you, I've shared with one person in my family. I've shared with one of my business partners, right? It's like family as well. So only with two people, and I want to share with you. And I believe it's so valuable. People can really benefit out of this. And I came to this conclusion based on a personal experience, which made it hard because I had to go through that, which is not in some cases the best way to learn from something. I'd rather just listen to someone else and just prevent that to happen, right? But this actually happened to me, and I couldn't be more excited to share it with you guys. We're gonna be talking about parents and kids relationship. In my case, I grew up without my dad, so it's always been my mom and a bit man in the family, right? My dad's back in Cuba. I barely spoke to him. Some personal things that happened. But going back to the main point, like since we got here to this country, my mom has been the one has been supporting me, mainly financially. All right, like she was the one who has been paying for rent. She's bought food for me since we got here. If I wanted to go out, she will be the one who will like give me money to go out. Like she will support me in every single way possible financially. So I had a dependency out of my mom in that financial side. Of course, your mom is always gonna be your mom. You
Yeah, of
know,
course.
like your mom is your mom. There's no way to go around it. And there's a love and there's like a certain connection that is never gonna go away. But in my mom's and I case, it got to the point where it was mainly like that dependency because she was the one who was supporting me in every financial way possible. And I didn't have a single dollar. She was the one who paid for everything I needed it. But then in the mental and spiritual side, she wasn't really adding anything to me. She's a great human being, but she decided to never learn anything new again. So it's the same thing repeatedly. So I already learned what I needed to learn from my mom. I already learned that. And since she hasn't been learning new things so that she can teach me something, right? Or something that I can get from her, the only connection that we truly had, the only leverage that she had over me is, of course, it was my mom. You know, that's not gonna change. But mainly that she was paying for everything. So the moment that I started making money, of course, the first thing the first thing I did was retiring her. Right? Yeah, you don't have to work a single day of your life. You're all set. But now I don't have a dependency on my mom. Like she has no leverage over me, as aside from being my mom. So when that moment comes, the relationship becomes harder because now you don't have a dependency. You just
Yeah.
want to go somewhere. I can't provide for her. I just want to go somewhere, live by myself, doing all these different things, and I don't really need my mom anymore, right? In a certain way, and this may sound crazy if you haven't gone through it, but if you have gone through it and you're in the same position I am, you may understand it. So my lesson from all this is that even though I'll be making all that money and all those different things, I will make sure that my kids have a dependency on me bigger than just money, bigger than just, hey, I'm providing for you. So I will make sure that until the day I die, every day I learn something new. Every day I'm reading, every day I'm learning. So my kids want to be around me because I teach them things, because I make them better persons every day, and they can never outgrow me because I will be learning something every fucking day. So it's not, oh yeah, my dad has all this money and my dad pays for this and my dad pays for his dad. So what's gonna happen when my kids start making more money than I do? Then they
Yeah,
want to
makes
go on their
sense.
own ways and they don't really need to talk to me aside from me being their dad. But if I know something that they don't know, if I can teach them something, if I can provide value for them, they will always be attracted to me in not just being their dad. Because I don't want to be, all right, you have to be around me because I'm your dad. No, it doesn't work like that. Like your kid is gonna be a human being. He's gonna be only having one life, just like you. And if he wants to be around you, it's because he wants to be generally around you. That's because you're his dad or his mom. It's because you provide for them in a way that they want to be fucking around you, right? So my advice for all parents and really all people is to always be studying, always be adding value to yourself, and do not create a relationship with anyone that is just about money. Because the moment they're making more money, they will screw you over. It goes
Okay.
also not only with parents, but also with friends. Come to me right now with $10 million cash and tell me to screw over one of my friends, and I will never do it, because there is a bigger relationship deeper than just money. Because we provide value for each other. This is what needs to goes on with dad, especially Hispanics dad and moms that thinks like they're done, right? Oh, I cannot learn anything more. I'm done.
Yeah.
I just want to not do shit and just go eat, go to the mall, and go on vacation. No, bro. You gotta be adding value to yourself, even if it is on like freaking. I don't know. Just you need to get good at something that you can provide and teach that concept to your kids, so your kids want to just hang out with you because you're cool and because you
You're
want to teach
cool,
them
yeah.
something, not just because you're paying for the food and the rent. Because the moment
That's
you start
awesome.
making money, and if you're going through this, it's gonna happen to you. The moment you start making 10, 20, $30,000 a month, and you don't need your necessarily need your parents, then you don't want to take any shit. But if you generally want to be around your mom because she's so cool and she goes around with you and she teaches you things that like aside from money, then there is a bigger leverage. There's a bigger balance. So again, biggest lesson is to always be a step ahead of your kids or anyone else they want to keep a nice relationship with, to the point where you can always be adding value to them.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you. That's an awesome lesson that we should
Oof,
learn from it.
big,
That's awesome.
big,
Thank
big,
you.
big, big. And I hope people take advantage of this, especially parents.
Hopefully, yeah. Hopefully,
Yeah,
well.
I mean,
'Cause
buying your
you
kids
think,
fucking ponies and cars. I feel like it's gonna be me with my kids buying them ponies and shit. But you also gotta have that deeper relationship where they have to come to you for advice,
yeah,
and that's the
that's the
biggest
point.
leverage that you can have with your kids. Is that money? Is like, hey, you gotta come to your dad for advice.
You know you're gonna learn something from it.
Yeah, like, oh, dad, I want to sit down with you, man. Like, there's so many parents that they have to be calling their kids. I want to be the parent where my kids call me, like, yo, what's going on, dad? Yo, you wanna go fish? Yo, let's go, dad. Like, let's go, man. I got you. Let's go.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah,
Got.
that's a huge fucking lesson, and I hope you will take advantage of that.
Thank you so much, Christian. That's the end of the podcast. I really appreciate it for you to coming back here, and thank you for sharing your personal experience, your business experience, your lessons, your advice. It's truly appreciated. Appreciate your time.
And just a quick message for everybody out there. If you want more guidance in the e-commerce space, definitely go to my social media. It's at Christian the Past. You go to my YouTube, Christian the Past as well. I have a lot of free value there. And if you send me a message, either me or someone from my support team will always get back to you with more details and help. And hey, get after it, bro. Get hungry, your own business, build your own health, build your own body. Get out there, do whatever the fuck you want to do. Just be fucking happy.